My name is CJ, and this is my first video for my new channel 8-Bit Den here on YouTube. Expect some jank. I'm going to be holding with one hand, recording with the other. I don't have anything to hold my camera yet. We'll get there. But what we're looking at today is a suitcase NES console. I found this old it says insurance computer case. I'm assuming it was for claims and they carried a computer around in this. Anyway, I thought it was a cool case. Got it at the thrift store for like $5 and decided somewhere along the line 5 or 6 years ago to start putting video games inside these. So what it's got in it is a NES clone. I think that's by Retron. It's called an N Classic. Pretty good little game system. I've had no issues with it whatsoever. The controllers are pretty tight. They feel like the old school NES controllers. This is a multi-cart that I got off AliExpress, and a lot of these are kind of crappy, but this one's actually pretty good. I've not having trouble with it. There are some weird games on it though. This is the power cord here. So this is got a couple of different plugins on it, and I've got the NES clone and the television plugged into it. Then they can just plug into the wall. So you just have to pull out one cord and plug it in instead of two. Makes it easier. All right, so let's kind of get into what this is. This is a TV again. I got it at the thrift store. I put that little lip up there so that I could get in there and get the controls on this TV there at the top. That TV is normally built for RVs, so it's kind of small and thin, and I didn't have to take it out of the case. So here's a game going in. You got to remember not to shut it while there's a game in it, or you'll break everything. Don't do that. So it fires right up, of course. And this is, again, a multi-cart. I'll do another video on this multi-cart because I really like it. But anyway, that's just showing how the gameplay goes down. And I take these out and do pop-ups with them. I set up several on a table and just let people play all the old cartridge console-based games. Dig Dug, one of my favorites. And we won't go into gameplay right now. Again, I'll do another video on this cart just to show you all the games that are on it. We're going to turn it off, and now we're going to take it apart so I can kind of show you how this is made. So most of this stuff I found locally, except the foam. I bought that online. That's like a 3-inch thick just foam that you put in briefcases to kind of map things out when you're putting in like cameras and things like that. And that hole is so big there for the game, so you can store several games in there at once. I normally have 3 or 4 in there. This just pops out. It's underneath the lip of the suitcase. There's a little lip that goes all the way around them. This one has good hinges on it that open by themselves, and some of these I have to put a hydraulic on it to keep it open. So what this is a high density foam ceiling tile. That's what the bottom part is. And the top part is a product called Polywall that you can get at Home Depot in 4x8 sheets and cut it down, and it'll cut with an X-Acto knife. It's a good little product. So here I'm just showing that both the game system and the TV plug into that extension cord, and then the extension cord plugs into the wall, and you've got to travel up to the top part here. That little slit is in place to keep that hinge from getting caught in everything, so I had to cut that to get that to close properly. It took a little bit of finagling to do. What I normally do is I make a paper template. I put a piece of paper in here, figure out what size it's going to be, and then I map out very carefully the plastic before I cut it. And you see that little notch up there? That's for the lock on the briefcase itself. The top part here, this is held in with Velcro, and it's not holding the television in. The television itself is held to the back of the suitcase with Velcro again. So it's not holding it in place. The foam that's around the television is also holding it in place. I've had some people talk to me about it's going to overheat because I don't have any vents or anything in it. I have not had any trouble with that. So this is the Polywall again. It's been spray painted gray, and it's got sticky Velcro on the back of it. And then these are little tabs that I had to make. So they're L-shaped tabs, again, out of that Polywall. And then I stuck the Velcro on there so that the cover would stick over it. Here's this little TV. It's a little RV television. I found it for like $5 or $10 at the thrift store. And it's in there really well, that television. Like, again, it's got a big sheet of Velcro on the back of it, holding it in place. This foam, again, I got that on Amazon, I believe. I believe it's 3-inch thick, cuts easily with a bread knife. That's how I cut mine. And it's not glued down or anything, it's just in there. The system itself, the game system, is Velcroed to the bottom. I didn't want to screw them in or anything, so it's got Velcro on the bottom of it, holding it in. So anyway, that's the basis of it. And I made it to where these pieces come off, these covers, so that I can get in there and kick around if anything comes up, anything comes loose. I can get it back in pretty easily. So this just kind of pops back on, and I've shortcutted it here. You can't really see it, but it took me a minute to get it back on there. But it just Velcros back into place. And then this piece here, the reason I didn't use just polywall there is to make it more rigid so that it had some structure to it. So that's why I've got that. It's like PVC ceiling tiles. They're about $15 a piece. They come 2 foot by 4 foot. I got that one at Lowe's. And then again, the polywall comes from Home Depot. So you got to kind of get around. And it is a very big sheet. It's a 4 foot by 8 sheet, but it's easy to cut. You can cut it before you put it in your car or roll it up. It actually rolls up really well. So anyway, I've got a bunch of these. I'll show you some more soon. But this is my NES clone in a vintage suitcase. Tell me what you think. If you want to see, if you have any questions about how I built this or any details on the parts or where to get supplies, just hit me in the comments. I'll be happy to answer any questions. Follow, subscribe, like, do all the fun stuff if you'd like to see me make more of these videos. And they may be sporadic for right now, but I will get to them. And I'll be doing some games and some hacks and some builds and all kinds of fun stuff. I've got a Power Glove case in the works right now. So anyway, talk to you soon.